Hey guys, thank you for joining me and welcome back. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm going to revisit some projects that I had created about 3 years ago, and I'm going to show you how I transformed just some plain glassware, vases, and bowls and transformed them into some beautiful home decor. So I'm going to start with this vase right here. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is an absolutely cute little vase, but what I'm going to do with this is make it look like it's white porcelain. And so I'm going to use some house paint. I think that's an acrylic paint. I think the brand is Rhinestone, and I picked that up from my hardware store. It's just a small can of white paint, and paint sticks very, very well to glass. As you've seen, I poured some inside the vase, and I'm going to turn the vase around until the vase is completely covered with the paint. And whatever is left in that vase, I'm going to drip it back into the can. But I want to make sure my vase is completely covered with the white paint. So here I am just twirling the paint right at the edge of the vase, trying to just get that in nice and smooth. You can paint this in if you like. And so I'm just going to hold this over and just let some of that paint drip out. And I held that up for a few minutes, just shaking it, just letting the paint drip back into the can. And once that was all done, I cleaned off the outer edge of the vase because we're going to be decorating the outer edge, and I'm going to turn it upside down and allow whatever paint is still in the vase to drain into the paper towel, and then I'm going to let that dry. Here's the dish that I had made earlier. I'm going to be using this same design, and that was a part of a set. So it took about 2 days for the vase to completely dry inside, and it looks so good, guys, and it has the look of porcelain. It's just so white, and because the paint is inside, there's no texture on the outside. So I'm going to start with some embellishments, and I'm going to take this beautiful brooch and I'm going to take the back off, and I'm going to hot glue it to the very top of the vase, kind of sit it up like that so it looks interesting, give it a little bit of interest. And I'm going to use some glue on the bottom edge that's going to touch the glass. That's where I'm putting the hot glue, and I'm just going to place that onto the vase, and I'm going to hold it in place until I think it's set. So this looks really good by itself, but I really want to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to be adding these small rhinestone embellishments. All of my embellishments that I'm using in the video today, I did pick up from Amazon, and if the products are still available, guys, I definitely will link everything below that I could find. So what I'm doing is I'm spacing them evenly apart. So I'm just going to use a little hot glue to hold those into place, and what I'm going to do is just go around the vase and just keep adding the small little embellishments until I feel I'm satisfied. But most importantly, I want them to be evenly spaced. But I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take some gold paint, and I'm going to paint the top edge of the vase and just the outer edge as well. But I did find that this gold paint that I was using wasn't the same color as the gold embellishments. So what I did was I went back in with a gold Sharpie marker and I painted over that, or I just, colored over it with the gold Sharpie marker, and it looked really nice. It looked like more of a match. And yeah, so that's all I did. I just went in and just colored over the gold paint that I had laid down earlier. And that's the final project for this. And it came out absolutely beautiful, guys. I love the way this looks. It looks so beautiful. I did make another set for a friend of mine. She absolutely loves hers. This is so nice, guys. I just wanted you to see how you can create porcelain without buying porcelain to create your DIYs. I love porcelain, but I don't want to spend a lot of money for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So this vase, I picked this vase up from the Dollar Tree when things cost $1, and I'm going to use some bronze paint and I'm going to use some gold paint to paint the outside of the vase. I'm not going to do the inside. I'm going to paint the outside. A thin layer of the bronze paint I'm going to apply first, and I'm going to just apply it all the way around. Once that dries, I'm going to paint it again so it could be a little bit darker and look a little bit more richer. Again, guys, this is another project that is quick and easy to do, and the bronze paint really makes the vase look good so far. And as you can see, it's a beautiful color. It's translucent. It has a slight luminescence to it, and it looks absolutely beautiful as it is. So what I'm going to do here is use a little bit of gold paint onto a sponge, and I'm just going to use just a very little bit, and I'm just going to lightly brush it across the top of the vase. I'm really loving the way this looks because the bronze vase looks beautiful by itself, but the gold gives it a little bit more texture and it highlights all that little design that's in the vase. I love the texture of this vase. I picked this vase up, I think maybe like 4 or 5 years ago from the Dollar Tree, and I held it in my stash for a long time. So I'm going to let that dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add some gold embellishment. I picked this gold embellishment up from Amazon. So I cut the embellishments down, and I'm only going to use the shapes that I want to use. I'm not going to use the whole width of that. I'm going to use the smaller disc part of the wrap, and I'm going to just apply that with a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to wrap that all the way around the neck of the vase. And now I'm going to add a beautiful pearl brooch. These brooches I pick up from like the thrift store and from flea markets. So while I was holding it, I realized I wanted to add some embellishment on top of the vase right there at the top edge. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to clean all the glue strings off after this is done. And here it is sitting here. It looks so nice. Absolutely love it, guys. Let me know what you think. Last project, I'm going to be using these 2 textured bowls that I picked up from my thrift store. I actually picked up 4 of them. I love the texture on this, guys. The texture is on the outside of the bowl and is smooth in the inside. So very quickly, I'm going to be using some gold glitter. I'll be using some gold paint. This is by Treasure Gold. This is a beautiful paint, guys. The color is really nice and rich. I'm going to be using some black enamel paint as well. So I'm going to start with the black paint and I'm going to paint the outside of the bowl. beautiful texture to it, and the black paint just highlights all that nice nubby texture. So I let that dry for about 2 hours. Now I'm going to use the gold paint. I'm going to apply a little bit inside, and I'm going to paint the inside gold. And I'm going to paint the inside twice. So I'm going to start by using a thin application of the gold paint. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come back in and paint it again. So here I'm just going to paint it one more time, and this is going to ensure that I get a nice smooth finish. And I'm taking that gold paint and I'm rubbing it against the outer edge of the vase. I let this dry again for about an hour and a half. Already guys, this looks just as beautiful inside as it does on the outside. Now I'm going to use a little bit of my Aleene's clear gel tacky glue. I'm going to put it in this little cap, just a little bit, and I'm going to mix it a little water inside to thin it out, because we don't need a lot. And I'm going to just blend that up. I just want to make this glue thin. And so after I do that, I'm going to take my paintbrush and paint a very thin application of glue. So I'm going to take that glue and water mixture and I'm going to apply it to the inside of the vase, just a very thin application. While it's still damp, I'm going to use some extra fine gold glitter, and I'm going to just lightly sprinkle that inside and allow it to attach itself to that glue, and then I'm going to let it completely dry. After it's completely dry, guys, I'm going to use this braided embellishment that I have. I wanted to jazz up the outside a little bit, and I'm just going to use this around the outer perimeter of the bowl. And to finish that off, I'm going to add a circular filigree backing. This is called a moon rock. So I'm going to adhere the filigree and the moon rock together. I'm going to use some hot glue to do that. I'm going to press it into place. And as you can see now, it looks kind of cute because it has that scalloped edge now. And now I'm going to apply that to our vase. I'm going to put that on top. This is so gorgeous. I love, love, love the way this looks. This is my Egyptian inspired, my Egyptian inspired candle holder. Really, really beautiful. I made two, one for me and one for someone else, but this is mine. And I'm using a Dollar Tree mirror, the gold glitter trim Dollar Tree mirror. And I absolutely love it. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate it. Please don't forget to thumbs up this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And you all stay well, stay safe, and stay blessed. And I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.